riding on that new river train. I'm riding on that new river train. It's the same old train that brought me here. Will take me home again. Banjo, gotta love it, don't you? Gotta love it. I've always used the terms clawhammer banjo and frailing banjo interchangeably, and for right or wrong, I don't know. Not going to lose any sleep over it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think clawhammer just sort of umbrellas the full sort of broad spectrum of that downwards action, that rhythmic style. You know, using the back of the fingernail. Whereas frailing is, for me, it's more of the performative sort of side of it, where you just mistakes go out the window. Nobody's bothered about that. Nobody's bothered about how accurate or, you know, precise or technical you play. They just care about how you make them feel. And frailing banjo, to me, that's like the fun side of it, the chaotic, crazy side of it, where it's the same old train that brought me here and take me home again. I love it. Love the frailing banjo. It just gives you that nice sort of fast, fun enjoyment, rather than worried about like specific strings and all the technical stuff that comes with playing the banjo. So welcome to this lesson. This lesson is all about frailing banjo. That's why I called it Frailing Banjo. You thought it was something else, didn't you? Before you clicked on this video, you thought I was going to smash my banjo up or something. But no, this is a unorthodox banjo lesson for new players, people who want to play the frailing or clawhammer style. And what I'm going to do in this lesson, we're going to learn that tune that I played at the beginning. It's called the New River Train. I'm going to learn it the Simply Song style. It's a style that I teach in Banjo Adventures. It's where we pull ourselves away from the standard tablature, because working with tabs can be a bit hard work sometimes. I'm sure you'll agree. And then once we'll do that, we'll explore frailing banjo a little bit more. So yeah, let's learn how to play the New River Train. So I'll just do a quick playthrough again of that tune, the New River Train. We'll just get our frail on to start with. Just that basic frailing strum. What is the basic frailing strum? It's that striking down, pluck, strum, thumb, pluck, strum, thumb. And when you speed that up, you get this nice rhythm. And then from there we can make music. And in this case, we're going to play New River Train. It goes like this. Riding on that new river train. Riding on that new river train. It's the same old train that brought me here and will take me home again. I used to work on the railway. Did I ever tell you that? When I was 18, I did an apprenticeship for Network Rail. 18-year-old, I used to be digging sleepers, digging wet beds, changing sleepers, should I say, changing rails. Used to have segs, 18-year-old lad, I used to have segs on my hands. I used to have segs on my segs. My hands were killing me. In all weathers as well, all weathers, night, days, weekends. It was hard work for an 18-year-old, you know, it's hard work, but I used to love it. It's one of the best jobs I ever had, railway apprentice. Anyway, yeah, that was a long time ago that. But I used my apprentice wage to buy my first banjo, and that was how I started, you know. I just wanted to learn to play it, and here I am now, trying to teach people how to play. So, New River Train, how does it go? Let's work through it together. So, let's do it one little bit at a time, shall we? So we'll just start off on the middle string, just a single strike on the middle string just to get us going. And then we're going to bum ditty on the first string to start with. So, riding again on that. I'm going to fret the first string at the second. New river. And then we're just going to alternate between the third and the fourth strings. Train. So the first two lines of this tune should sound something like this. Obviously I'll put the tabs on the screen like I always do. I'm riding on that new river train. And the third line is just a repeat of the first line. Riding on that new river. D7. Train. Middle string. Fourth string. Train. Middle string twice. It's the. I'm going to move on to the next part, which goes middle string, fourth fret, twice. Same old. Drop down to the second fret, same string. Train that. All together. Same old train that. Into a C chord, and then we're going to strike the second string twice, followed by the first string twice. Brought me here and will. So the first two lines all together should go. Same old train that brought me here and will. And now this is the tricky bit now, because we're going to go from the first string, middle string, second, middle string D7, followed by just a third and fourth string alternating on open G. So the last two lines will go, carry me home again. Now if you're playing along with me, you might notice your banjo will sound slightly differently to mine, assuming that you're tuned to standard open G. What I do, if I'm ever playing and singing, I loosen all my strings equally, so it drops my tuning from standard open G down to standard open F, because I've got quite a deep voice. So for me to sing in G, I can't do it. Can't do it. Now once you've got a basic idea of the tune, and if you ever like frailing banjo and you're performing, so you're like singing as well as you know, using your banjo as the frailing sort of method of playing, what happens is, rather than using our banjo to sing the song, so using, you know, embellishments and other right hand techniques to make your banjo sing the melody. So for example, so you can see I'm using, sorry my hands are really cold, you can see I'm using different techniques like hammer-ons and pull-offs to really add lots more melody to the tune. And doing that, it's like I don't need to sing, my banjo's doing all the melodic singing stuff for me. But then when it's my turn to sort of sing the lyrics of the tune, not only do my words and my syllables add to the phrasing of the song, but my words and my voice carries the melody as well. So really, my banjo doesn't have to do much. As a matter of fact, usually little is more, you know. You just want to play a nice solid rhythm, get those chords, and just support your voice really. And bearing that in mind, once you can do that, you don't even need to strike the correct string. I'll just demonstrate that to you now. So I'll just hit any string, frailing, I'm all over the place. String 1, 4, whatever. And you can sing and it'll still sound okay. I'm riding on that new river train. I'm riding on that new river train. It's the same old train that brought me here and will take me home again. So I was all over the place then. You know, it doesn't sound perfect, it's not great, but you know, in the heat of the moment, if you find yourself playing a song and you're losing it, you know, don't worry about it. Just hit any string, just keep that rhythm going, try and keep your chords going, and obviously if you're singing as well, your voice will just save you. Your voice will just save the day. So, if, you know, the way I played that then, how did that make you feel? You know, if I'm all over the place. Riding me home again, riding on that new river train. I'm riding on that new river train. It's the same old train that brought me here and will take me home again. Again, I just played the same song again, just all over the place. I wasn't hitting any particular string. Well, how did it make you feel, you know? Listening to that, it wasn't that bad, was it? It wasn't terrible. And the reason why I keep saying to you, like, how does it make you feel? And the simple reason is this, it might sound a bit harsh, but nobody cares about how good you are at the banjo. Nobody cares how technical you are at the banjo, and nobody cares how many embellishments and how many slides you can squeeze into a song on the banjo. Literally, nobody cares. All people care about, if you're ever playing to somebody else, all they care about is how you can make them feel with your banjo. And the best example of this, I'll tell you a true story now. So a few years ago, I hosted Christmas Day at my house, so I had all the family round, about 4 families in total, so the house must have had about 20 people in it altogether. We all had a few drinks, I'd had a few drinks. There's 2 times when I can't play the banjo, and that's when I'm cold, like now, it's middle of winter now, so I'm freezing. So I can just about play now. And then the other time when I can't play is after I've had a few drinks. I just can't, my fingers just won't cooperate. Anyway, so Christmas Day, we'd all had the food, we had a few drinks, Christmas pudding had been done, about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. And we had a few drinks and it was like, go on, get your banjo out. So obviously, you know, you don't have to ask me twice. So I went upstairs, got the banjo, came downstairs and I thought, let's have a sing song. So let's play a Christmas song. So I can't remember what song it was, must have been Jingle Bells or something like that. I remember just playing it and I went, jingle bells, jingle bells. And at this point, I was lost. I didn't even know the song. I'd not practiced it. I just knew that sounded like Jingle Bell. Jingle all the way. But by that point, everyone had already started singing, and I was just doing that. I was just hitting any string. I didn't even know what I was doing. I wasn't even playing chords, I don't think. I can't remember. I was drunk. Anyway, but everyone was singing and everyone was having a good time. And at the end of the song, laughing all the way, da, da. I just kept doing this, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Nobody noticed. Everyone's singing, having a great time. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one horse open sleigh. Way! Everyone started clapping and going, way, that was brilliant. And I was like, that was rubbish. That was like the worst song I've ever played. But everyone loved it. And the fact that they got everyone feeling jolly and singing, nobody was bothered about what I was doing on my banjo. And even like to this day, that was like several years ago, might have been 10 years ago, even like to this day, people still talk about that night and that performance and saying how fantastic it was and how great Ben is on the banjo. And I'm like, I'm not that good. It wasn't even a good song, it was a load of rubbish. But like I said, it's not what you can do, it's not how technical you are, it's just how you can make people feel and how people sort of enjoy the music that you're putting together, if that makes sense. So try not to get too hung up on, you know, exact. When you're frailing and singing and performing, there's a very good chance you're going to make mistakes, you're going to lose where you are in the song. And all I'd suggest is just try and keep that motivation, momentum going, and keep that rhythm going. And try not to make too much of a fuss about it. Because like I said, it's all about the way that you make people feel, and usually the way people feel is a reflection of how you feel. So if you're uptight and you're worried about making the tiniest mistake and you're feeling dead stiff and worried and nervous, then the person who's listening is going to feel stiff and uptight and worried and nervous, and you know. And if you make something too complicated and it's too complex, and you start like doing all that fancy stuff and it's a bit too complicated, you know, and it might feel complicated to you, you're going to confuse your listeners and they're not going to know what you're playing. So the whole point of what I'm saying is, you know, try and relax, try and have fun, embrace your mistakes, don't worry about it, and just keep frailing, you know, just keep frailing away. And another way to sort of look at your banjo when you are frailing, like say for example that tune there, the New River Train. You know, you've got low parts in the song, you got high parts in the song. Because obviously our banjo is tuned to standard open G, so you got the high 5th string, then you got low to high. You got 4 strings there that go low to high. And then when I'm playing a tune, I like to visualize, rather than 4 strings, I like to visualize just 3 simple zones. You got a low zone, so that's strings 3 and 4. You got medium zone, which is strings, you know, 3 and 2. And you you've got high zone, which is strings 2 and 1. So I'll put on the screen now, so you can see on the screen there we've got a banjo, and you've got obviously the 5th string there, then you've got the 4th string, 3rd, 2nd and 1st string, and then you'll see we've got strings 4 and 3. If we alternate, now we're playing in the low zone, and then you got strings 3 to 2. This is the medium zone, and then strings 2 to 1. That's the high zone. So when I said to you before, you know, you could play a Frailing banjo song and you can strike any string anywhere at any time, and you know, you can still sing and play, and nobody's really that bothered, because it's like I say, it's how you make them feel. So you just embrace that. But you know, you don't want to be too chaotic where you're all over the place. So it is worth trying to get the right sort of tone. You know, you want to play the high parts at the high points. So you know, New River Train, so it starts off on the high strings, that 1st string. So we've got riding on that New River train, high, 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 low, 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 high, 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 low, 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 riding on that New River train, riding on that New River train. So even though I'm holding the D7 chord, I'm still alternating between the high and the low zones. Riding on that New River train, high, 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 low. The next part will go, it's the same old train that brought me here. Medium, 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 high, 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 high. Then the end part will go, high, low, high, medium, low, high, low, high, medium, low, take me home again. So yeah, to me, Frailing banjo, it's all about just making the noise, you know, being a bit of a showman, being a bit of a show off, you know, Frailing, trying to just enjoy it, relax, trying to make whoever's listening to you relax as well, and don't get too don't get too hung up on specific strings, you know, just try and just maintain that rhythm. You want to support your voice, you let your voice do all the work. Your voice is going to be singing those melody notes, handling the phrasing, dealing with the you know, the melody, the tone. You just want to support yourself, and like I said, more often than not, little is more when you're frailing. So yeah, so the key takeaway from this video is, you know, take that song, take the New River Train, just get comfortable frailing it, get comfortable, you know, get your voice in. I know you might not want to sing, but just get your voice in there, you know, even if you just talk the lyrics or just say it out loud, just get a feeling of bringing everything together and being a bit more, you know, you're presenting your song, because that's what music is all about. It's sharing it and just trying to make other people feel comfortable and enjoying it. It's all about creating nice memories, playing music, sharing music together, and don't worry about your mistakes. You know, you've got to remember as well, a lot of these old-time banjo songs were written by people who probably they had a few jugs of the old moonshine, probably jacked up on opium, because opium was legal back then, don't forget. No, probably even smoking a bit of the old marijuana. That's what my mum calls it, that marijuana. Bit of the old wacky backy. That's what my mum calls it, wacky backy. Mums, you can't beat them, can you? Pity, really. So yeah, my takeaway from this is Frailing banjo. It's all about just embracing the whole umbrella of everything that you've learned, and that's that basic Frailing strum. Sing away, enjoy it, make memories, and share it. And don't get too worried about the very specifics, because, like I said, it's how you make people feel. And if you feel good, and you feel confident, and you feel happy, you're going to make other people feel happy. And that is what it's all about. So yeah, that's all about Frailing banjo, and my name is Ben Dorning, so I am the creator of banjoadventures.com. It's an online learning platform where new and beginner adult banjo players can learn how to play this awesome skill one step at a time, and it's a fantastic place to learn. So be sure to check it out, banjoadventures.com, and hopefully see you there.